I'm a fan of solitaire games, as you know, if you've been watching this channel. Oh, you got a glimpse of that there? And I am a fan of Todd Sanders and some of his games. For instance, The Dragger. This is a fun solitaire game. It's quite interesting. And also Mr. Cabbage Head's Garden. It's another Todd Sanders gem. But I'm here to talk about, not upside down, The Maiden in the Forest. Comes in this little wallet from Button Shy Games. It's a Todd Sanders solitaire game, right? This is that's it. It just comes in this wallet. There's only a few cards. Look at these gorgeous trees. Aren't these beautiful? And I'm gonna go down at the table. I'm gonna do a little playthrough of it, but I wanted to show you. That's it. That's the instruction booklet right there. That's it. It's a neat little puzzle solitaire game, and let me read you the flavor text. Put my spectacles on. It says here, long ago, a maiden mage was trapped in an enchanted forest ring. Through her cunning and with the help of 4 magic objects, she attempts to escape her fate. So in a moment, you're going to see me set this up on the table. You're going to have the maiden in the forest there in the center, and then the ring of trees. And then you have these magical objects that are going to help, right? Magical. You're going to see it as I play it here. So let's go down to the table. Let me show you how to play and do a playthrough of The Maiden in the Forest by Todd Sanders. A gem. I really enjoy this game. Maiden in the Forest. Great little solitaire game. So let's get to it. What you do is you shuffle these cards, right? And you lay them out in this clock configuration with all these symbols facing out. And then you put the maiden right here at 12 o'clock. The objective of the game is that the maiden has to get out of this forest. And for her to get out of the forest, all the trees have to be dormant, okay? Well, how are the trees dormant? The first thing we're going to do is begin to manipulate these cards by flipping them upside down, right? With the symbol facing inward. And then afterwards, we can turn the card over. And when the cards are face down like that, that means the tree is dormant. And every tree needs to be dormant for the maiden to be able to escape, okay? And the maiden is every turn, which includes a day phase and a night phase, going to be going around the circle here. If the maiden gets to 12 o'clock there, and we have not been able to make all these trees dormant, we lose. If we manage to make all the trees dormant before the maiden gets up there, we win. It's a puzzle game. Sometimes, depending on how the cards come out, it'll be easier than other times. There's a little trap that you can fall into. I'll talk about that in just a moment. But we're going to be dealing with these 2 cards, right? I mean, with these, this is the day phase cards. And as you can see, they have the symbols here, which are represented on the cards. There's 3 of each, right, on the cards. 3 fire symbols, 3 bird symbols, 3 cone symbols, and 3 leaf symbols, okay? And during the day phase, we're going to be positioning these cards so that we can, in the night phase, manipulate them, either turn them upside down or, flip them over and make the tree dormant. And in the night phase, you have these 3 options here, and we can do all 3, but only once per round, okay? Each of these. We have the path, which is cards that are directly across from each other. If they match color or symbol, we can, manipulate them. Same thing here with the divergence. Divergence, the cards have to be an equal number of cards apart. So if we start here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. So basically it creates like a little triangle, right? All these cards are 4 apart. if you start there, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it would be these three here. And when you do the divergence or the crossroads, which I'll talk about in just a second, you can start. Let's say we're doing these three here in the divergence. You can start here or here; it doesn't matter. But what needs to happen is that whatever the first card is, let's say this is the first card. This has to match the next card with either a color or symbol. And then this one has to match this one with either color or symbol. And same thing with the crossroads, which is literally a cross, right? That way you can manipulate 4 cards at once. A lot of times it's hard to do, but it can be done if during the day phase you manipulate the cards in such a way. A lot of times it'll happen, or you can make it happen, right? So these are the night phase actions, which are extremely important. The day phase, which we're going to begin with, let's go ahead and begin, and then I'll explain another interesting detail about this, is that we're going to shuffle these, we're going to flip one of them over. The comb, we cannot touch or manipulate any comb cards, okay? These we place here. So any card that has a comb symbol, and there are 3 of them, we cannot touch. These 2 up there and this one here, okay? We cannot touch them. We can't switch positions or do anything else. So in the day phase, you have these 4 cards available, right? This one, you can change the position of 2 cards that are opposite each other. So I can switch the position of these 2, these 2, these 2. Here, any 2 cards. So any 2 cards, I can change the position of them. Here's any 2 cards where the color or the object match. Okay, so that yellow with that yellow, or this yellow with that yellow, or this fire symbol with that fire symbol, and that one there, which we in the day phase here is off to the side, says any 2 adjacent cards. Right? And sometimes you'll have to do that to manipulate the cards and prepare them for the night phase. So right now, in the beginning of our game, we can't touch any comb cards. Okay? So we have to look at the board. Again, just like with the night phase, during the day phase, we can use all 3 of these or none of them, whatever we want. But if we choose to use all 3, it's only one per round, okay? And so if I decide to use this one, I just turn it over like that just to remind me that I've already used it. All right, so let's take a look at the board. I like that we have 2 blue trees facing across each other here. Also, these fire symbols. Let's see if we can get a divergence or a cross. Divergence would be that one, this one. See, these 2 don't match, so in the night phase, they wouldn't match for me to manipulate them, so I'd have to change the position. And basically that's what you do in this game. You just kind of look at everything. I mean, I'm talking here, I'm trying to focus, but it's hard to do that while I'm talking and filming. But basically you just observe the cards and see what you can get away with. Let me see if I can get away with a cross. That does not match that at all, or this or this. Okay, that's not going to work. Though I could. Let's see. If I place, let me see what I can do here. Well, I could manipulate these 2. Or these 2, right, with the path here, which is the first part of the night phase. I could do that, but I'm trying to do more cards per turn, right? So the divergence, that's this and this. That's not going to work. From your perspective there, you can see this circle. It's not a perfect circle, but from my perspective over here, I have to kind of do this sort of thing to be able to see which cards are directly across each other. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope. Let me think here for a moment. So that would go to... right, this, let's see, maybe I can do a cross this way, right? This way here. We have a yellow card with a bird, and we have another yellow card. So this one matches this one. This one does not match this one, but if I switch the position of these two, because of the leaf, it'll, well, the color, right? This will match this one, and then the color will, and then we can do the cross. So we'll be able to do two things in the night phase, which is manipulate these two, and then do the cross this way here. So that's pretty good. Let me see. Well, here I got any two cards, right? The two adjacent cards are right there. I need to switch the position of these two. So I'll just use any two cards, switch the position of these two, and now during the night phase, let me see if there's anything else I want to do. I think that's enough. I'm going to do a cross and either these two or these two in the path here. So let's see. That is correct, right? Yeah. So this one matches this one. This one has a leaf with this one, and this one with that one. And all the cards I'm manipulating, or I'm going to manipulate here, and the switch that I did here had nothing to do with a comb, right? Because we're not allowed to touch any cards with a comb. Actually, I had mentioned earlier that I might switch these two in the night phase. I cannot because that's a comb. I could do these two though. All right, so that's all I decided to use for the day phase. Let's just leave it at that. And I don't need to put this here, but I will just so you can see it. So now we're in the night phase. That was the day phase. Now we can use one of each of these if we choose. And I'm going to do the crossroads. I'm going to do the crossroads because that one here, I'll flip it upside down. That's the first thing we do. Connects with this one, which is a yellow tree. This yellow tree has a leaf symbol, which connects with this leaf symbol over here. And this green tree connects with this green tree over here. So we managed to manipulate these four cards. And I'm going to go ahead and manipulate these two as well, because they're across from each other. So in this turn, I use the crossroads and the path. I did not use the convergence, which is fine. Let's go to round 2 here. Now, here's something you have to keep in mind, right? Because depending on what comes out here, I may be able to make these trees dormant, right? The ones here in the cross, or maybe these two, or maybe exactly what I did in the first turn. I may be able to do it again if the comb comes out again. But if a bird comes out again, I can't touch that bird or this one, you know, so I have to see what else I can do. What's interesting to think about in this game, and I fall into this trap quite often when I play this little puzzle game, is that as you start making trees dormant in this forest, you may be left, like about halfway through the game, you realize that you have like one card that is just won't match with anything, you know, and then you're completely stuck. You can't win the game, right? Because you have to remember, you're either removing manipulating 2 cards at a time, 3, or 4 at a time, right? So depending on how you do that, as you make trees dormant, at some point you may have like maybe 4 cards left, and one of them doesn't match with any other card, and that means you're completely stuck. You can't win. So let's see what we're gonna do here. This is round number 2, and okay, it's the bird. We cannot touch any bird card. So forget about doing that cross again, right? That's not gonna work. The night phase, I mean, during the night phase, I can do the path and manipulate these 2 here and make those 2 trees dormant. Let me see if there's a divergence here that doesn't involve any bird cards, because these 2 and this one are bird cards. So let me see here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I don't want to touch that one because on a subsequent round, I am going to be able to manipulate those, so I want to leave those alone. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. That doesn't match with this at all. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't want to touch that one. You know what? For this, I'm not gonna manipulate anything. Actually, let me see. In this case, I can also do these two, right? I could do these two, the path, or I can choose to do these two. So I'm not going to manipulate anything in this day phase. I'm just gonna leave it the way it is. And in the night phase here, for round 2, I can't touch the birds, but I am going to take these 2 cards here. They're already facing upside down, and I'm just going to make these trees dormant. All right, by using the path. And I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm just going to leave it at that for now. Okay? I chose not to really manipulate anything in the beginning. So now we move the Maiden to our 3rd turn. Let's see what can happen here. This is a tough little game to play while you're talking, you know, and filming. All right, we got the comb again, which is good. Because I'm gonna get to do the crossroads, right? So I may not manipulate anything on this turn. I can't touch any comb cards, so I won't be able to manipulate these for the path. I can do crossroads. Let me see if there's 2, 3, no. Yeah, you know, again, I'm not gonna position these cards. Right? I'm just gonna leave it. Because we're gonna successfully be able to flip 4 of these over and make 4 trees dormant this turn. So I'm not gonna do anything. I'm just gonna leave this. We're gonna go straight into the night phase. Now I would love to manipulate these 2, but I can't. So I'm gonna go with the crossroads, and the crossroads is this one connects with that one, right? Just like you saw before. This leaf here connects with this leaf, and wow, it's hard to pick up these cards on this table. And this tree matches with this one. My gosh, I can't pick up these. I can't pick up these cards. All right, maybe if I sleeve them, right, it would be much easier to pick them up off this table. So all right, so this is what I've done here in the night phase. We're gonna go into the day phase now for the 4th turn. But let me look at this because I don't want to get in trouble here with what I was describing earlier, okay? I have, oh no. You see I've already done it. I only have 1 green tree. You see, this is what happens when you don't pay attention in this game. I'm already in trouble because I have 1 green tree with a fire symbol, and it doesn't match any of the other cards left. I don't have any other green trees, and I don't have any other fire symbols. I mean, how quickly did I fail here? That is unbelievable. This is precisely what I was talking about. And when you play this game, you really do have to think ahead, you know, because this is the perfect situation where I just will not be able to eliminate this tree, because this tree will not match color or symbol with any other card that's exposed. So, you know, I've already lost the game. You know, this is why I love this game, because most of the time, if you're paying attention, you know, you can maneuver yourself into a victory, right? But if you neglect one step, if you do one wrong thing, you can end up with a situation like this. And this is exactly what I was talking about earlier. I mean, I can, you know, we got 2 blue trees here. We have 3 of the combs. We have a bird here, but we do have a red tree. So, you know, I could set up a cross situation where I could get rid of these cards over here, right? At least 4 of them. You know, because this comb matches with that comb, matches with this blue tree, you know. Actually, I would do, how would I do this? I would do, would I be in bigger trouble here? Let me see. Yeah, I would do a cross. I would during the day phase, I would set these cards up and to be able to create a cross, and I could start with this card, right? And then this would be the second card, and then this would be the third card because it matches symbols, and then because these matches symbols, that would be the fourth card in the cross. I would be left with these two, and nothing I could do. You know, the problem card here is really this one because didn't plan ahead. So that's it. I mean, an extremely short and slightly embarrassing playthrough of a Maiden in the Forest, but I love this game nonetheless. It just goes to show you got to pay attention, you got to focus. It's a puzzle game. It's beautiful. I love the components here. The card art is gorgeous. It's just a fun game to play, but you have to focus, you have to plan ahead, and if you do, most of the time you'll be able to win, and you won't make this kind of mistake that I made here. Fantastic. The Maiden in the Forest. Go get one.